So the first step in making Caribbean pine tarts is to make the pastry. You make the pastry by having flour, any type of fat, and water. Today I will be using Crisco as the fat. You can also use butter or margarine depending on your health and taste preferences. So I have 4 cups of flour, all-purpose flour in this bowl, and 1 1/3 cups of Crisco. And I'm just going to add it to the bowl. Get as much in there as possible. And then you just mix the butter in with your fingertips. After you have mixed the shortening and the flour together, this is what it should look like little crumbs of the shortening and the flour together. And then we will add 6 tablespoons of water to make it into a pastry dough. So let's do this. You just do the same thing, take your fingertips and mix the water in and make a really nice pastry dough. Okay, so now that we've mixed the water, flour, and Crisco shortening together, we're going to put it in the fridge for about half an hour. So we're just going to put it in some cling wrap. Just like put it all together in there. Okay. So the second step in making Caribbean pine tarts is to make the pineapple filling. Today I'm going to use crushed pineapple, brown sugar, lemon juice, and my secret is allspice and nutmeg. So in this bowl I have 3/4 a cup of brown sugar, and in this measuring cup I have that can of crushed pineapple which I put in the food processor. And we're going to add these 2 items into a pot over here that has just a little bit of butter to add some more flavor. I'm just going to pour that in there. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of the lemon juice to make it a little bit tart. Okay, so now that we've added our pineapple, our sugar, and our lime juice to the pot, we're just going to mix it together. And we're going to use a spoon so we don't scratch our pot. Mix it together. Smells so good. And then, to make it extra fancy, we're going to add 2 dashes of nutmeg. Not too much, but just the right amount. And then some allspice. Also not too much, but just the right amount. And then mix that in some more. And then we're just going to let this cook down until it's a little bit thicker and until it tastes perfect. So now we're going to make the shells for our pineapple tarts. This is the pastry that we made earlier. I just rolled it out, made it flat, and then I'm going to take this. So we're just going to cut the circles like this. And take the pastry from around it. Just remove that. And now we have our circles, and the way you make the shells is you pick each circle up, and this is the cupcake pan that we'll be using to make the shells, and you take the circle and you place it in a spot and just essentially fill the cupcake spot with the pastry. And you just continue like that. So now that we've filled our cupcake pan with the molds, we're just going to put it in the oven, 375 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 10 minutes. So our shells have finished baking, and we're just going to take them out, their shell like that, and just place them on this foil-lined cookie sheet. I'll let them cool just for a few minutes, not for too long. once our pineapple filling has cooled and our shells have cooled, we're going to start filling our shells with the pineapple filling. So you just use a tablespoon and take some. Try to get as much solid and not as much of the juice in there. And just fill it to right below the top. And we're just going to continue that with the rest of the pan. Okay, so we filled all of the shells for our pastry, and now we're just going to top it off with a little sweet crumble. I just used the pastry from the shells and added some sugar and flour and crumbled it like this. And so how we're going to do this is we're just going to top it. With the crumble. Not too much, just the right amount. And then we're going to take some melted butter and put that on top so that when we bake it, it gets a nice color. And we're just going to finish the rest of the pan like that and put it back in the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit and bake it for another 10 minutes just until it's brown and crispy, because everything's already cooked. We just want it to look pretty right at this point. Okay, so now our pastries are done baking, and this is what they look like. Ta-da!